Transformers 1 is the brand new animated prequel film into the Transformers franchise that just hit theaters. The film is directed by Josh Cooley, whose first film was in 2019's Toy Story 4. This tells the untold origin story of one Orion Pax, who will later become Optimus Prime, who in this movie is voiced by Chris Hemsworth, and his best friend D16, who will later become Megatron, voiced by Brian Tyree Henry. Orion and D16 are minors on Cybertron who are just trying to live by the day and by the rules, as Sentinel Prime, voiced by John Hamm, is out there looking for a device that can power and save everyone on Cybertron. But when Orion starts to believe that there could be a lie here, him, D16, B127, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, who will be Bumblebee, as well as Alita 1, voiced by Scarlett Johansson, travel to the surface and see the lies and try to save Cybertron. Also in the movie is Steve Buscemi as Starscream. You also have Lawrence Fishburne as Alphatron as well. The film is an hour and 44 minutes and is PG. Welcome back to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnerberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring the bell. I do movie and TV show reviews, box office breakdown shows, movie franchise rankings, and out-of-theater reactions. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. What did you think of this movie? Did you think the trailers look good? If you saw it, did you like it? Did you not like it? Is this one of the best films of the franchise? Worst? Do you think Hasbro and Paramount should move forward with this part of the franchise and stop doing the live action? Let me know in the comment section. And also, please like the video. So, I am someone who grew up with the Transformers live action franchise. I've seen the animated film, the original one or two times, but the live action films I grew up with. Again, the first one came out when I was 5. I've seen all of them in theaters. I am very enthralled in the franchise. At the same time, there hasn't been a lot of quality, really, in my opinion, really at all with this franchise. I think the last 2 movies have been by far one of the best films of the franchise, with Bumblebee and even last year's Rise of the Beast. But when I saw this animated trailer and they were recasting all of the voice actors, I got really nervous. The trailers did not look good, in my opinion. It looks more like a direct-to-streaming animated film than an actual big time Hollywood in theaters movie that could be a franchise. I was really nervous about Chris Hemsworth. So, and obviously it's a Transformers franchise. You can't really expect the highest of quality, sadly, over the last 20 years. So that was my expectation level. But I'm going to say this. This is, for me, might be the biggest surprise of the entire year. I think this is an excellent Transformers film. And it is the Transformers film that I have been waiting for my whole life. With these live action films, we always have to be on Earth with the Autobots and the Decepticons coming to Earth, fighting over a MacGuffin, but we're really just focused on the human characters. But this time, we're on Cybertron for the entire film, and there are no human characters, and it's all about the Transformer on Transformer action. And it's what I have been waiting for in the franchise. I got tired of focusing in on human characters and their things, and I want to learn more about the Transformers. And that's what I think the last 15, 20 years of films have missed that this film executes. Josh Cooley, who, again, what a directorial debut of Toy Story 4, was a really good choice here because the animation is jaw-dropping in this film. It couldn't feel less than cheap, which I thought in the trailers. There's a lot of little nuggets, Easter eggs, but really cool animation throughout the entire film. Even when there's something, maybe the main action is going on, I start to look around and see the surroundings. The world building is really helped by the animation, and Cybertron just looks like an awesome city when it's being saved more than it is when it's about miners. Another element that I was surprised about was actually caring about the friendship between Optimus Prime and Megatron, because obviously we know, if you're a Transformers fan, that these are the biggest arch rivals in the Transformers franchise. But you've seen a lot of movies over the last 10, 15 years when they're telling origin stories of a villain and a hero. They're usually best friends. So there's definitely a little bit of a cliche element to the friendship. But for me, I actually bought the Orion and D16 friendship, especially I bought D16's turn from D16 to Megatron. That all made a lot of sense and why both guys are on the opposite sides of the spectrum on that end. And I thought that the movie actually made it make a lot of sense. Um, it was definitely the heart and soul of the movie. Megatron for me was the MVP of this movie. Brian Tyree Henry got some juicy lines to read in this movie, especially towards the last half of the movie. And I thought Tyree Henry really delivered but the writing for Megatron was fantastic. I think it's one of the probably the best written character in any of the Transformers films. Not just by him saying cool lines or things, but the trajectory of where he starts at the beginning of the movie and where we end with him in this film. Really enjoyed that. Keegan-Michael Key, of course, is hilarious as Bumblebee. If they continue on with the animated franchise, it kind of sucks that at some point we'll have to lose that voice. But he does a really good job. Scarlett Johansson, also very solid. Chris Hemsworth was someone when the movie started, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm totally buying it. But I actually bought it. Now, yes, I'm very much the biggest Peter Cullen fan, and I still would have casted Peter Cullen if I could. But if they had to cast somebody else, this is actually very good casting. And towards the last like 15, 20 minutes, you heard that gravitas in Hemsworth's voice that, yes, definitely is does not pale in comparison to Peter Cullen, but I still really enjoyed Hemsworth in the film. And the other crucial thing is that Hemsworth and Tyree Henry, I don't know if they were in the same recording booth, but it felt like they had a lot of good chemistry on screen. The Transformer and on Transformer action was awesome. There was a race in the first act of the movie that was tons of fun. That felt kind of right out of like Ready Player One with that race. Tons of fun. As I said, the action, the world building has never been stronger with the franchise than this film. And I just really had a blast. I was laughing. I was enthralled in the action. And they actually gave me a story to really sink my teeth into with, yes, it's a bit cliched, the Orion and D16 dynamic. Now, on a negative level, the Sentinel Prime character arc is very cliched, and I wish there was a stronger villain in the movie that sets up the breakup between Megatron and Optimus Prime. He just felt like you've seen this villain in a billion other films before, and I wish there was a little bit more depth to Sentinel Prime other than and once you see what's happening with Sentinel Prime, you kind of have been there, done that with that character. I wish Alita, voiced by Scarlett Johansson, had a little bit more to do. She just felt like at times kind of the wrong person out of the group because she didn't really feel like she was friends with them. Then she's kind of just on the journey. I think they could have given Alita like a little bit more to do of a relationship with any of the three other Transformers who go on this mission. And then when we get down to kind of the big third act, you kind of have been there, done that. I didn't really feel the epicness that the movie was going for with the Optimus and Megatron fight, but I think they were trying to leave a lot of meat on the bone for a next movie. So I wish they had a little bit more oomph into that third act big fight scene. But that is my thoughts. I had a blast of Transformers 1. I think this is the best film of the entire franchise, at least since the Michael Bay movies have started. So at least in my lifetime, I think this is the best film. It balances story really well. We get to see Transformers on Transformers. We get to see Cybertron for an entire movie. This is the Transformers movie that I've been waiting for. So go support a actually good Transformers movie. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 76% for the new entry into the Transformers franchise. What are your thoughts on the film? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.